These are our airplanes in the night sky, and the power of 4. We're nearing the end for Battle for Dream Island again, while TPOT is over halfway there. So last time in Battle for Dream Island again, Penny and Coiny won the True Yourself Challenge. And by win, I mean Coiny cheated using his limbs instead of pins. Fries also won immunity because he won the prize last episode, so any votes cast against him won't count in this episode. Everyone else is fair game. Tinsball got the least dislikes again, and he won the prize again, making him the first BFDIA to win the prize 3 times, and he gets a disbandment token. This special coin will give Tinsball the power to dissolve a team, which means from here on in, it will be every individual for themselves. They cannot join or form other teams. Solo teams don't count though, since they are a team of 1. Book was this close to winning immunity from the last episode if the spot didn't mess up her cover, but she's still safe for another episode. So it's down to the great players, Needle and Nickel. Needle's on the chopping block because she still can't make up her mind if she wants to be a Free Smarter or a Wool Buncher just by joining Fry Smart. And Nickel did send himself and Tinsball on a wild goose chase into the future involving the Yoil Light. But I will say it's another missed opportunity for a 5th place joke here because Nickel is coming in 7th place for Battle for Dream Island again. Wow, I thought Nickel was going to stay a little bit longer after his triumph from the Scavenger Tag episode, but I think it has something to do with his time travel adventure with Tinsball. Although it was still one's doing involving the space-time continuum catastrophe during the last TPOT episode, Nickel was the Roo that almost destroyed the world ever since he threw the Yoil Light into the future. He may not cause the end to his Season 2 timeline, but there were some long-term effects in the future. Either way, he did the best he could, and I can't believe his time in Season 2 ended just like that. So now that Cake at Stake is done, or Steak at Stake, Tinsball decided to use the disbandment token to remove a team, and he chose Wool Bunch. And I gotta say, he made a smart move on splitting up Coiny and Pin. Oh, and Fry decided he doesn't want Needle on his team anymore, so everyone will be competing as individuals for the first time on Season 2. So that technically means they all made it to the merge. But before they can start the next challenge, Ice Cube wants to leave Yoiland, presumably because of her last encounter with Leafy. So Fry decides to use his hardware store to dug up a tunnel and go to the island down the block. Their next challenge is called Light Up the Sky. There are 3 towers, and each of the final 6 have their own beacons of light. They must race to the top and turn the switch on with their emblem on it. The first person to light up all 3 switches wins immunity, guaranteeing them a 1 in 5 shot of winning Dream Island. Losers go to Take a Stake at the next episode where someone will be the next fortresser to join the fortress. As Season 2's first official individual immunity challenge, this one was really intense. You'd think it was going to be that simple when all they had to do is turn on a switch, but when Book accidentally turned off someone else's switch, everyone else gets the same idea to turn off everyone else's, causing everyone to go around in circles, going up and down the towers, off again, on again, so on and so forth. They keep running through the towers until they came up with a plan to stop everyone from turning off their switches, such as Tinsball locking up the switches, Needle going as fast as she can, Book stopping everyone from going up to the towers, Fries and Pen plotting to kill everyone, and Coiny trying to sabotage the beacons. Whichever plan they came up, it's pretty chaotic. There's a funny bit where Needle dodges Fries and Fries when he only has less than half of them. And when Tinsball said he's not afraid of Fries, he runs away anyway when he plots to kill him. But I do have one question. Why is Season 2 treating Book like the punching bag again? I know she's the only Free Smart member left, but at the beginning of the challenge, no one will let her turn on her own switch. 1 minute she's climbing up the ladder, but then suddenly one of the other finalists decides to throw her down. And apparently Pin still wants to argue with Book over the Ice Cube swing incident and doesn't want to move on from it. But there was a nice moment for Needle where I think she's finally decided to putting her teen switching arc to a close, where she now decides to win for herself. But what's even shocking about the episode is the ending. When the final 6 were racing towards the final tower, everyone was pretty much neck and neck, racing towards the last switch to turn on their beacon. And when Coiny was hanging on for dear life, Pin decided not to rescue him. She wants to go after Book so that she can win immunity instead of hers, even though Coiny did so much to help Pin to get her face and body back. The music was getting louder and faster as one by one the finalists dropped like flies until there was one remain to turn on the beacon. And the results were jaw-dropping. This has got to be one of the best individual immunity challenges for Battle for Dream Island yet. But the excitement doesn't stop there because it's time for the Teapot adventure. Last time, Team 2 and Jetpack yet again lost yet again. Unfortunately, 2 is out of commission after the loss of Gady, so 4 and X will be taking their place. Fanny and Ice Cube are trying to solve the mystery involving 1, but they need someone reliable to spread the word. But before they can do that, they need to survive Cake a Steak. Fanny survived, and so did Tree, Black Hole, and Marker the Green, which means Pin the Red is eliminated. Meanwhile, on Team 2, Snowball survived, and so did Price Tag, and Grassy. And last but not least, the X-Free Smarter. And that X-Free Smarter is... Book. Ice Cube, unfortunately, did not make it. When it comes to Pin's elimination on Teapot, I actually didn't want her to be eliminated because she was the only Jetpack newbie left on the team. It could be the fact that the viewers just wants the original Jetpack Again members to stick together, and Pin didn't really do much to help Jetpack it again as a heroic leader. I don't even remember her leadership role very well aside from the pit challenge. But there's actually a surprise involving the gold token that 2 gave her back in episode 2. It's actually a secret advantage. Unfortunately, it can't be used until the merge. Now that Pins is eliminated, she has to give her golden token to someone else. And she chose Tree for welcoming her as a Jetpack Yet Again member. As for Ice Cube's elimination, I was afraid that her time on Teapot might run shortly, seeing how Grassy, Snowball, and Taggy are much more popular than her. She did the best she could in the last episode about never giving up on retreating the rejected Teapoters, but I guess it just wasn't enough. It is really sad that her reunion with Book didn't last longer, but she is thankful that Book did give her the time to think for herself. Ice Cube really misses her that much, and she just wants their friendship again. And I'm happy that they're friends again. That's all I needed from her journey. So as we say farewell to 2 more fellow BFDI players, it's Hello Teapot 16 Challenge. For this challenge, it's a classic game of hide and seek. Teams have 10 minutes to hide around Goinky. Dying is not allowed. 4 and X are the seekers. If anyone gets tagged by either 4 or X, they'll spray them with blue or yellow colors and they're out of the challenge. After 1 hour is up, the top 2 teams that gets tagged the most will be up for elimination. So as the challenge began, I had to admit, it is really nice to see 4 and X hosting the show again. I almost forgot how expressive they are, and there were some inventive ideas on how they managed to find and catch some of the other players during the hide and seek challenge. 4 takes the game much more seriously since he is the biggest fan of Battle for Dream Island, while X is pretty much naive and pretty much carefree and the nicest of the group. Throughout the episode, 4 seems to be the one that tags the most when eliminating the players, while X keeps getting tricked by Pillow so she can form an alliance with him. She almost got away with it, but 4 reminded X that he has to continue playing the game or else the results might get confusing. When we look over to the hiding perspective, some of the players actually find some good hiding spots around Goinky. I would totally be like Pen, Light, and Tennis Ball when hiding inside the Super Clubhouse of Awesomeness. We actually get a small glimpse of the inner workings of the recovery center when Bug was trapped inside of it. And I'll admit I gave TV a thumbs up on using his camouflage screen. And I would have to side with everyone about Bottle being the best hider because she did pick the best hiding spot there is, and she even gets her own celebrational dance. The only one that managed to be on par with Bottle's best hiding spot would have to be Grassy because he got trapped inside Tree's body. While he was flying in midair, he crash landed inside Tree's body. But when he starts to move around his inner branches, he has the power to control his body and even his mind. I do find it funny that Tree almost sounded like Grassy, and Grassy did come up with a good idea. He can use Tree's body to trick Marker into getting tagged by either 4 and X so he can get out of the challenge. Once again, I underestimated the walking lawn. But there's another good hiding place that we haven't seen in a while, and it's that waterfall place that Robot likes to go to. When Pen and Light are trying to hide from either 4 or X, they went inside Robati and they get teleported into the waterfall place. And we finally get some nice interactions between Pen and Light, where Pen talks about that he's upset that his best friend Eraser is gone, and he just found out that Pencil is responsible for his elimination during the Storm Challenge. He doesn't know how to unleash his anger, and that's when we learn some new development involving Light about her anger. And I think this has something to do with the dark path that she mentioned during her BFB premiere. That other light switch that she sometimes flips over represents her anger. It's still a part of her, but her anger doesn't control her. She controls it. So she's decided to help him on how to use his anger responsibly. That's a nice touching moment. It reminds me of the themes of Inside Out, where every emotion has its purpose, whether it be joy, sadness, anger, and more. Even Penn has his own angry tactic whenever he removes his cap. There's another touching moment when Book confronts Winter after they found out that Yellowface has gone his separate ways after making a deal with Price Tag. Oh yeah, I forgot. A few episodes ago, Yellowface just got bankrupt ever since he spent all of his life's earnings to gain the Super Band back from Lewis, and now he's trying to rebuild his business, but he didn't have any luck. But later on, he collaborated with Price Tag on selling some collective goods. Yeah, I really didn't care about Yellowface's new business plan, but what I was more invested into is Winter's side of the story. They see Yellowface as a friend to them. But ever since Yellowface started to hang out with Taggy, they were afraid that he might leave them like how Loser left them. But Book wanted to make sure that they're okay, and that Yellowface will come back to them. In the meantime, Book decided to become good friends with Winter. Also, Fanny does get in contact with Tinsball on what he can make about this one situation. But then comes Pencil and her position on Cloudier. And let me tell you, she does not want to get eliminated on hide and seek. She pretty much throws away her own team members thinking that they're dead weight when Donut and Gulbo says no to this idea. Every member of Cloudier are pretty much important. But Pencil doesn't care if they get hurt, tag, or kill. She just wants to win and nothing else. Would you even want her to have choose powers? She doesn't want to make new friends with Cloudier. She doesn't give the ex-Free Smarters some time to think for themselves. Oh, and by the way, she almost killed the entire world from the last episode when she went back in time to the season 1 finale. I do get that she's paranoid and doesn't want to go back to the exit, but we know she's not going to go there again. If she does get eliminated, she's just going to go to that new elimination area, which is much cozy and safe than the exit. Or if one comes around, she'll join Needle, Balmy, and the rest to that playground area, which is another nice place. The only plus that we got from Pencil's tyranny is that Gulbo and Donut do have some common ground with each other where they decide to stop Pencil from going crazy. It not only proves Donut's point that every member of Cloudier is important, but Gulbo decided to take a step back from her bossiness to show that every character do have their moments to shine. Overall, this episode was just amazing as airplanes in the night sky. And now that we uncover both the latest episodes of Battle for Dream Island, can Book defeat Penn before she does? And will Tinsball be able to solve the one mystery? There are still some hidden episodes remaining, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. See you all in BFDIA 19 and TPOT 17.